I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. So now we continue with chapter 5 of Jacob, the allegory of the olive tree. We have seen the scattering of Israel and the, at least, allusion to there being four primary areas or central areas for Israel to be scattered. Four main groups that were broken off of Israel. Now let us continue. This will be verses 29 through 47. And it came to pass that a long time had passed away, and the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, Come, let us go down into the vineyard, that we may labor again in the vineyard. For behold, the time draweth near, and the end soon cometh. Wherefore I must lay up fruit against the season unto mine own self. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard and the servant went down into the vineyard, and they came to the tree whose natural branches had been broken off, and the wild branches had been grafted in. And behold, all sorts of fruit did cumber the tree. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard did taste of the fruit, every sort according to its number. And the Lord of the vineyard said, Behold, this long time have we nourished this tree, and I have laid up unto myself against the season much fruit. But behold, this time it hath brought forth much fruit, and there is none of it which is good. And behold, there are all kinds of bad fruit, and it profiteth me nothing, notwithstanding all our labor. And now it grieveth me that I should lose this tree. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, What shall we do unto the tree, that I may preserve again good fruit thereof unto mine own self? And the servant said unto his master, Behold, because thou didst graft in the branches of the wild olive tree, they have nourished the roots, that they are alive, and they have not perished. Wherefore thou beholdest that they are yet good. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, The tree profiteth me nothing, and the roots thereof profit me nothing, so long as it shall bring forth evil fruit. Nevertheless I know that the roots are good, and for mine own purpose I have preserved them. And because of their much strength they have hitherto brought forth from the wild branches good fruit. But behold, the wild branches have grown, and have overrun the roots thereof. And because that the wild branches have overcome the roots thereof, it hath brought forth much evil fruit. And because that it hath brought forth so much evil fruit, thou beholdest that it beginneth to perish, and it will soon become ripened, that it must be cast into the fire, except we should do something for it to preserve it. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, Let us go down into the nethermost parts of the vineyard, and behold, that the natural branches have also brought forth evil fruit. And it came to pass that they went down into the nethermost parts of the vineyard. And it came to pass that they beheld that the fruit of the natural branches had become corrupt also, yea, the first, and the second, and also the last. And they had all become corrupt. And the wild fruit of the last had overcome that part of the tree which brought forth good fruit, even that the branch had withered away and died. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard wept, and said unto the servant, What could I have done more for my vineyard? But behold, I knew that all the fruit of the vineyard, save it were these, had become corrupted. And now these which have once brought forth good fruit have also become corrupted. And now all the trees of my vineyard are good for nothing, save it be to be hewn down and cast into the fire. And behold, this last, whose branch hath withered away, I did plant in a good spot of ground, yea, even that which was choice unto me above all other parts of the land of my vineyard. And thou beheldest that I also cut down that which cumbered, and thou beheldest that I also cut down that which cumbered this spot of ground, that I might plant this tree in the stead thereof. And thou beheldest that a part thereof brought forth good fruit, and a part thereof brought forth wild fruit. And because I plucked not the branches thereof, and cast them into the fire, behold, they have overcome the good branch, that it hath withered away. And now behold, notwithstanding all the care which we have taken of my vineyard, the trees thereof have become corrupted, that they bring forth no good fruit. And these I had hoped to preserve, to have laid up fruit thereof against the season unto mine own self. But behold, they have become like unto the wild olive tree, and they are of no worth, but to be hewn down and cast into the fire. And it grieveth me that I should lose them. But what could I have done more in my vineyard? Have I slackened my hand, that I have not nourished it? Nay, I have nourished it, and I have digged about it, and I have pruned it, and I have dunged it, and I have stretched forth mine hand upon. Nay, I have nourished it, and I have digged about it, and I have pruned it, and I have dunged it, And I have stretched forth mine hand almost all the day long, and the end draweth nigh. And it grieveth me that I should hew down all the trees of my vineyard, and cast them into the fire, that they should be burned. Who is it that has corrupted my vineyard? That is where we're going to leave this part. Notice a few things, that the detail of this allegory is astounding. Now, when I was young, of course, I didn't realize just how detailed this was, but we've entered the apostasy. This is the period of the apostasy. In our last part, where all the trees bring forth good fruit, except the one was half good and half bad. That was the Nephites and Lamanites, but the rest of it was all good fruit. And the tame tree, the original tree, that is Jerusalem. That is Israel in Jerusalem. Could also say that at this point, when we enter the apostasy here, it has all kinds of fruit. So we're talking about not just Israel, but the Christian church. That is the center of the gospel. That's what the tame tree is. And look at all the evil fruit. That is the apostasy and the dividing of churches and this denomination and that denomination, and all the confusion of the apostasy. And by this time, all of it is evil fruit. The apostasy has gotten hold of everything. But notice a few things here. The tree that used to be half good and half bad, it doesn't say that the good became bad. It says that the bad overcame the good and killed the branch. It withered the branch away. The Nephites were destroyed. But then it also says that not only is it a choice land, choice above all other lands, but he states specifically, I removed a tree from this spot. There used to be something else growing here, and I cleared this spot away so that I could plant these guys here, so I could plant this tree here. And thus we have an inclusion of the Jaredites. The Jaredites are those who were cleared away, that they cumbered the ground. And so God removed them and put Israel in their place. He also says that he knows that these are the only trees that are good throughout the entire vineyard. And remember, the vineyard is the world. This is an admission that where Israel is the only place where you have the gospel of the Lord at this time. By the time we get into even around Christ, the only places that actually have the gospel are the centers of the Israelites. Everybody else is corrupt. Just the detail of this. Now, I really wish that we had more detail about these other three places of the Israelites being scattered to. But I'm going to leave that here, and we will pick this up in part 4, so I will see you there.